Hey, Still in Nation Midwest. It's Big J coming at you. Hey, Still in Nation, what's going on? Today we're going to do the pregame of the Cincinnati Bengals Pittsburgh Steelers matchup on this Saturday at 7 o'clock Saturday evening. But first, I want to talk about some of the rookie classes that were drafted in 24 that really had good drafts. First one, the Commanders, man, they struck gold, and so did the Eagles. But the Commanders, they had a really good draft, man. Right now, their draft class is ranked number one. Jalen Daniels was picked number one in round one. I'm sorry, picked number two overall. He's been playing well. He's like everything from what they're saying. He's like everything. He's playing well. He really is, man. They hit on that one. The Commanders really hit on that one, and they did a good job. And in the second round, they grabbed Jazeer Newton. He's playing well too, a corner. He's doing pretty well. So they really had a good draft, a really good draft, and they have them ranked number one as far as draft class. Number two, they got the Eagles. The Eagles are ranked number two with their draft class. They're ranked the second best draft class this past 2024 draft. And basically, Quinton Mitchell, round one, 22nd pick overall, and Cooper DeJean, two of their top rookies, playing really well, and making sure that they just added depth. And he's pretty good. I've watched him play, man. He's a decent player. So that they both teams had really good drafts, and with Jalen Daniels, man, the Commanders, I keep wanting to call them the Redskins. I keep catching myself, but they really hit good on the draft, man. So did Philadelphia, as if they needed it. Both teams are already pretty good, and they just added some more firepower to their teams, So basically, it's one of those things. Next, we're going to talk about Carson Wentz. From all reports, they're going to rest their starters in Kansas City, and it looks like Carson Wentz will be the one that's playing. If you remember a few years ago, Carson Wentz was the starting quarterback in Philadelphia. Had a really good year his rookie year. I remember that. He had a good season. A lot of people did, they were not sure about him, but he did have a good year that year, but he didn't finish the year. Foles came in, and Foles ended up taking over the reins at quarterback, and Foles ended up finishing the year off, and they end up winning the Super Bowl. But I mean, he's a good backup for the Chiefs, and like I said, they're resting their starters, man. So they're basically, they feel like basically, hey, there's no need for us to play these guys. We're the number one seed. There's nothing else to prove. We got home field advantage throughout. So even if we lose to Denver, it doesn't matter. That's how Kansas City's feeling. That's really how they're feeling. So basically, they're going to sit him, and they're going to sit a lot of their starters. Not all of them are known as of yet, but I'm gonna assume Chris Jones, Kelsey. They'll probably sit a lot of guys, man, unless those guys want to play. If they want to play, they might, Also, some interviews have already started for head coaching positions, and there's a lot of guys out there that've been sitting back this year that didn't have jobs. One of the big names out there that a lot of people think he'll this time around he'll be in the coaching carousel. He'll end up he'll get a job, and that's Mike Vrabel. Uh, Vrabel's a good coach. He's a good coach. It just didn't work out for him down there in I think it was Tennessee. He didn't work out for him down there. But all accounts, I mean, I thought he did a good job as a coach. They were physical, aggressive. Um, you know, he's kind of like Tomlin and also my man in San Diego, Harbaugh. Uh, they like to run the ball. He likes to run the ball and do things like that. It's like a lot of physical brand of football, you know. So we'll probably see that if he was to get that job, you know. But his name came up. He doesn't have the job, but his name is definitely coming up. Definitely coming up. Also, too, there's some this week. I guess Aaron Rodgers has been thinking about it, and he's uncertain about his future. So he's not sure. That's the first time I've heard him say that. So I didn't hear him say it, but that's some of the reports around the league, that he's thinking about his future. That tells me that he's thinking about hanging it up. He's thinking about moving on and probably doing something else. I don't know if he'll do TV. His personality is different. It's weird. So I'm not sure how he'll handle that, because I don't know. To me, he's not a people guy. So I don't know how he'll fit on any of the networks and things like that. So I don't know what he'll get into. He might just go away and just kind of be like Brett Favre and just a great to play, and that's about it. The Cleveland Ravens game. So that game right there is weird, because Cleveland does have something. Not Cleveland, but Baltimore does have something to play for, because if they lose and Pittsburgh wins, then Pittsburgh is back in the hunt for number 3. I think I got that right. So if that happens, so they do have something to play for. So Pittsburgh handles Cincinnati, and they lose and the Ravens lose to Cleveland, which I doubt. But if they did lose to Cleveland, then that changes things. So a lot of people think, Baltimore don't have nothing to play for. Yeah, they do. They do have something to play for. So I don't think they're going to lay down against Cleveland. They say they're resting players. That's what the reports around the league are, that they're going to rest players. But I can't see them just laying down to Cleveland. I can't see it. On the other hand, Cleveland loves being. They want to spoil it. They don't care if they're not going to the playoffs. They want to. They basically want to make sure that the Ravens finish their season with a loss. And that's all they're thinking about. They don't care, so they're going to play hard. Now they did sit their quarterback. Are they really sitting their quarterback? Because who is their quarterback? I don't know. Who's Cleveland's quarterback? So I don't know. Does anyone know who their quarterback really is? Winston definitely, he's not playing. He hasn't played the last game, I think 2 games. So, we already know Deshaun Watson's hurt. He's been gone for several games. So it's one of those situations where, who knows how Cleveland will come out. I think they'll come out and they'll play hard. That's good for Pittsburgh. If Cleveland comes out and plays hard, and Baltimore, for whatever reason, takes an L, we take care of our business, then things can happen. But if not, if things stay the same as if they are like they are right now, basically they'll play. They'll be the fifth seed. They'll be the fifth seed as long as they win. Pittsburgh, I'm talking about. They'll be the fifth seed, and if they're the fifth seed, they'll play. They'll go. I think they'll play the Chargers. Yeah, they'll play the Chargers. And then if they lose to Cincinnati, then they'll have to go to where would they go? They go to Houston. They would go to Houston. So, or Baltimore. So I'd rather see them go to Baltimore. I'm gonna be honest with you. Houston's weird. That's a weird game. I think we can beat them. I think we match up well against them. I don't think they've been playing well this year, and I think they'll struggle against us. It won't be like last year, where they took it to us. They're not that potent this year. They're not really a potent team. So I wouldn't. If we go to Houston, we go to Houston. Baltimore definitely going to be a little tougher. That'll be a tougher game. But as far as scouting, getting ready for them, and preparing for Baltimore, that's a little bit easier because we play them a lot and we already know what they do. They know what we do. So it's one of those games where, basically we have to prepare, but we know a lot about them and they know a lot about us. So it depends on it depends. Some people might say, no, let's get Baltimore, man. For one, they want to we need to beat Baltimore. Just want to beat them in the playoffs. Or do you want to go to Houston and have more of a chance of winning? So, but before we get into the Cincinnati game, McCarthy down in Dallas, his contract is expiring. Expires on January 14th. So we'll see what they do, what the owner, Jerry Jones, does, man. That dude's so fickle. It's crazy. You don't know what he's going to do. And he just, I don't know, he's a horrible GM. He just needs to be an owner. But he wants his hands in everything. So myself, if the job was open, I'd have to think twice about taking that job. But I know a lot of these guys, they take these jobs because they want to be a head coach. And at least they get some experience as a head coach. Me, I don't know if I want to coach for that guy, man. I don't know if I want to do it. That might be a job I have to pass up. I say that, but I don't know. He's everybody who goes down there and plays for him. Coaches for him, man. They have a hard time dealing with him. So he wants to handle everything. He wants to run everything. He wants to call the shots. He wants to tell you how to coach. And he doesn't. Come on, just stay out of it. If you're hiring a coach, you hire a coach to coach. Let them coach. But he can't. It seems that he can't do that. And so I don't know who they'll get if he lets McCarthy go. I think if he offers McCarthy a contract, McCarthy's going to definitely stay. He'll definitely stay. I don't think he'll leave. He'll probably just take the job, take the money and stay. And do that. But before we get into Cincinnati, I want to talk about my sponsors, man. They've been so good to me, man. So basically, I want to give my shots out to them. They're so appreciative of what I've been doing for them, and I'm appreciative that they let me do it. And I'm so glad that they're sponsoring me. So it's working out. So basically, a local DJ by the name of DJ Foots. DJ Foots is his information is on Facebook. His Facebook page, DJ Foots business page. All his information for contacting him, his email, his Yahoo email, his information as far as his prices and things like that for events. are all on there and everything. So you can contact him and make arrangements with him if you need a DJ. And he DJs a lot of events. If you go on my page, you'll see an event that he did New Year's Eve, and he's done others since then. Matter of fact, I think he did something that the following night, and did something again. So he's busy, man. He's always busy, and he's wanted. He's big. So DJ Foots, really good DJ, man. So if you need a DJ for your events, make sure you contact him and give him your business. Okay, and then you have Compass Timepieces. Compass Timepieces, high-end quality watch that is mechanisms and all the integral parts of it are made by a company in Switzerland. Switzerland, if you know anything about watches, Switzerland makes the best timepieces in the world. As far as the mechanisms and things of that nature, their watches are known to last forever, man, because of the quality of the watch. We're talking when we're talking Switzerland, we're talking like number one. Some people say Italy, but Switzerland has the best watches. So go on my page, you'll see him. He's an African American entrepreneur who created this watch, and it's a high-end watch. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap watch. It's worth it. We're talking $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a watch, and people are buying them. So it's not like it's not a money grab. It's a serious business, and he's the owner, and the creator of this watch. Compass Timepieces, man, nice watch. You can go on my Facebook page, my Instagram, and any of my other social media, and get any of his information. Also, I have a little Facebook shout out to him where he meets with a referee from the NBA. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's a known referee because I recognize his face, and they make money. And he met him. They got the video with him sitting down with him in person to watch. So it's good. And then he has a lot of podcasts too that he's been on talking about the creation of his watch and why he got into that. And he'll tell you more information about how he came upon becoming the creator of Compass Timepieces. So check him out, David Carrington, Compass Timepieces watch, quality watch, man, quality. Next, you have Tez the Dreadlock Barber. His company is basically here. It's local. It's a local company. He does a lot of different things, man. But he's my barber, so he cuts hair too. And it's Young Blades fades at LLC, All Natural LLC. He got so much going on, man. I'm sorry about that, but he has a lot. So it's Young Blades Fades, All Natural LLC. That's it. Don't get mad at me, Taz, because I always get it right. But that's a lot of information, and he has a lot of stuff going on, man. He trains kids in basketball. He creates beats, and he does a lot, and that's retro fades. Not only does he cut hair, and then he's a workout guy. The guy keeps his body in shape. He does workouts for people and things of that nature. So he's an all-around guy, man. But he's my barber, and that's Young Blades Fades at All Natural LLC. Okay. Last one, based in Los Angeles, is People of Color Beauty. Young lady who entrepreneur, created her own nail polish business. It's big. She's been on Good Morning America. She had a time slot on Good Morning America where she talked about her product and how she came about creating that and getting into that business. And also she received an award from Oprah Winfrey also. So she's doing really well, and she all her information is also too on all of my social media networks, and it's a great product. And all my sponsors are African Americans, man, and I want to give back. I have to give back. Just, a lot of people talk about it, but I'm trying to do it. So, and I'm going to do it. So I'm gonna give back to the African American community by letting you know about different businesses that African Americans have created. Not only do they own them, they created it. It was their idea. So those are my sponsors, and I'm very appreciative of them. All right, back to football. Cincinnati, man. Okay. So the Bengals are a hot team right now. They've won the last 4 games that they've played. They had a really good game, and why everybody's so excited about them right now is because they have gotten better, and their defenses has played better the last 4 games, and they had a really good game on national TV against Denver. So they look better. I mean, they're 8-8 now, so they're playing better. We did beat them already this year, but it's not going to be easy, man. The AFC North is to me the best division in football. It's so competitive. It's so competitive. I'm not taking anything away from the West and the AFC West or anything like that, or AFC South. I'm not taking anything away from them, but no one competes like those 4 teams. That's all I got to say. And I don't care about records because it doesn't matter with those 4 teams. It doesn't matter because they've proven that they can beat other teams in the league, but they just don't do well in the division. They don't do within the division. They don't do well in the division, but they're pretty good. Now Cincinnati has a lot of pieces they need to get. Their defense is horrible, and they're playing better right now, but their defense is it needs some help. And it's just like the old Cincinnati Bengals, man. They don't like spending money. They make it tough on they're making it tough on their offense right now. The owner Brown, I don't know. I don't know. He just doesn't like spending money, But he got a great offense. His money is on that side of the football. So basically, you got Burrows. This guy has thrown for over 4,000 and some odd yards. He's thrown for 42 touchdowns. I mean, he's having an unreal year, man. And it's not like basketball where you got a guy that's scoring 40 points a game just because he's on a team that can't score and he has to score. No, you can't do that in football. You have to be good. You really do. And you have to be able to do your thing, and he's doing his thing. He's hard. He's really good, man. And it's just so bad. I say it every podcast when I'm talking about them. It's just so bad that they got to play in a division that is so tough and that they don't have a defense. Because if they had a defense, they'd be tough. I mean, they're scary now, but I still don't think they can beat Pittsburgh. But they'd be tough if they had a defense. So they have Chase Brown, but Chase Brown's not playing. He's out this week. That's the rookie running back. They're going to sit him, which is kind of confusing to me because if they win, so he must be really hurt, because if they win and some other things happen, they can make the playoffs. So them sitting him tells me that he's really hurt, or else he would play. And then you have You have Hendricks on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, you have Higgins, and you have T. Higgins. Jamar Chase, Kursecki, Plummer. They offensively. Now their offensive line is suspect. Their offensive line, it definitely they have Brown, they have Orlando Brown, and but overall they're not a really good offensive line. But skill wise they have a lot of players. They do. Like I said, they have Chase Higgins, Chase Brown, but he's not playing. T. Higgins at receiver, your deep guy. Then you have Jamar Chase, who's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Well, T. Higgins is your deep guy, and Jamar Chase is your underneath guy, your yak guy. So, and he's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's definitely, if not one of the best, not the best receiver in the league, he's one of the best receivers in the league. So, he's not a joke. Defensively, they have Hendricks. He's leading the league in sacks. But they have Britt. He's banged up. Taylor Britt's banged up. You have Pratt, linebacker. You have him. He's okay. He's a decent player, but they don't really have much, and defensively, and that's why they're having the struggles that they're having, because defensively they have pieces, but they don't have enough, and the guys are okay. They're decent players. They're decent players. Special teams wise, they're okay. They're just not really good. They're not really good in all three phases. They struggle. But like I said, their last 4 games they're 4-0, and offensively they're averaging 27.8 points a game. So they're scoring points. We had to score 44 points the last time we played them and beat them. So they can score, and everybody's struggling against them offensively. It's hard to stop them, and that's because of Burrows and Chase and Higgins and Kursecki. Kursecki's, and then they have a rookie receiver who's pretty decent. And I think he's out. I think he's struggling. He got some injuries, but they. Offensively, they're not bad. They get some pieces on defense, man. They're going to be tough. They're going to be really scary. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, we need this win. We do. People say, well, we're going to be in the playoffs anyway. We'll be in. It's a matter of where we'll fall to, if we'll be 6th or we'll be 5th. Just depends, but we're in. So I was listening to one guy, he was saying that he actually, and he's pretty knowledgeable, but he was saying that he thinks Pittsburgh should just sit people, don't worry about it. And he's a big Pittsburgh fan. Just sit people, because it don't really matter. You got travel anyway. You're either going to Houston or Baltimore. Anyway it goes. You're going to be on the road. So go ahead and rest some guys. Make sure they don't get hurt, because the injury bug has been messing with us here and there during the end of the season. We've been struggling a little bit with injuries. And then go ahead and play. Go ahead to Houston or Baltimore and do what we got to do, But I feel like this. I feel that we should play. If we get up, then you sit them. But you want to try to win the game and hope no one gets hurt. That's what That's what you're hoping, that no one gets hurt, and that everybody comes out of the game healthy, which is hard to say. Like my man said, the one guy was saying, you can't get hurt on the bench. You ain't got to worry about it because they're not playing. So that's that philosophy. Just sit them and then just get ready for the playoffs. You got to travel anyway. You either got to go to Houston or Baltimore, so it doesn't matter. And Russell got to get back on point. He struggled the last few games. Just hasn't played like himself. Making mistakes, the kind of mistakes that a veteran quarterback with the experience that he has doesn't usually make. He's usually pretty solid. He's not the guy that turns the ball over. He usually takes care of the ball. He's pretty good about that. And he makes good decisions. But the last couple games, he struggled with that. His decision making is horrible. Maybe I'm being too tough, but it's not good right now. A couple of those interceptions could have definitely been avoided. He could have avoided those interceptions. He, for some reason, I don't know why, there's people saying that he, whose fault was it on the one touchdown? Was it his or was it Pickens? Did Pickens the one lazy on the route? Was Pickens lazy on the route? Or did Russell make a bad decision, a bad judgment when throwing that ball? I think it's a little bit of both. He could have just threw it away, or he could have seen. The play was. They say the play was supposed to go to Muth, Fryer-Muth, but for some reason Russell tried to force it to Pickens, and he said Pickens ran a lazy route. So there's been a little bit of back and forth with that. They had a little report where Pickens was asked, what did he think about Russell saying that it was his fault. It was Pickens' fault, on the pass because Pickens cut off the route, didn't run the right route. I don't know, but we don't need that right now. So his decision making got to get better. Then it goes back to the scamper 19-yard run that he had when he fumbled the ball, and then there's a couple other turnovers that he had. So, and that's something we haven't done all year. We haven't turned the ball over. We usually take care of the football, and that's why we are who we are, because we don't make turnovers. We usually take care of the football. We're pretty good with that, and the last few games, we struggle with that. So, as far as the offensive line goes, we got to get better. Salomao has a tough game, but I chalk that up. Because he normally doesn't play like that. He usually plays a lot better. Big fella, the big tackle, Dan Moore. He I don't know. He struggled last game. He's a decent run blocker. He doesn't pass block well, and he struggled the last couple games. And we don't need him to struggle. We need him to be on point, and because we're gonna need him, man. And not only just to play the run, not only just to run block, but also he got a pass block too. So because he's gonna have to go against the tackle. The defensive end. On Saturday night, who has 11. Trey, the guy who has 11 sacks. So basically, Hendricks. So we got to take care of business. He's on his side. He got to handle it. But so there's things we got to do. We need my man to play better. We need him to play more consistent. I'm talking about McCormick. He didn't play that bad the other night, but he got to be more consistent. Broderick, good run blocker. So is the guard, McCormick. He's a decent run blocker. His technique is horrible. He got to get better with that, but that's something right now in the middle of the year or the end of the season. I don't know how he's going to fix that, but then Zach Frazier, man, he's tremendous. Um, he's a tremendous player. He's a rookie. He got the Steelers Rookie of the Year award. Uh, he's playing really well. He's doing his thing. He's not an issue. He's playing really well. I mean, this guy, I've been saying it. This guy, he needs a gold jacket. And he's one of the. He's already, and they have him listed as the fifth best center in the league. The fifth best center in the league, and he's a rookie. So that's pretty good. And then you have Salomao. I'm gonna tell you, man, we miss James Daniel. We need to think about giving him a contract, at least 1 year. We need at least 1 year. Sign him for at least 1 year, man. Offer him a 1 year deal, and see how that works out. But because he's one of the better guards, and he's young. He's only 26 or 27 years old, and he's actually pretty good, man. He's a really good, solid guard. And for them not to want to re-sign him, I don't know what's going on with that. But they might be rethinking that now. They could be rethinking that because he's having a good year. He's having a good year, and he's had good years since he's been here. So, but he got hurt this year. So basically, we miss him. We really do. I think if he was playing right now at the guard position, he didn't get hurt, if he didn't tear his Achilles tendon this year, man, we would be solidified at guard on the offensive line, period. And it wouldn't be an issue. So we got to fix that, especially Saturday. We got to fix that. So we got to I think we should think about re-signing him. Fields, man, the word is that Fields might take a deal. He might take a deal and come on back for 2 years. That's the word. He might sign a deal for 2 years and come on back. I think that's smart. I really do. I believe that's really smart. I believe that he can. Because I think basically if he comes back and he plays another year, I don't think Russell has that long. I don't think Russell Wilson has that long to go. So I think that he only got maybe a year or two left in him. So basically, you sign Justin for a year or two, right? He's your bridge, but he might start next year. He could be your starter, and then you can draft somebody. I wouldn't draft a quarterback because they said this quarterback class is horrible. So that means you're just going to be getting guys. It's going to be like getting Pickett. So I wouldn't just grab a guy just to grab him. They said next year's draft is going to be good, really good. So I would just wait, and I would wait and then go into 26 and draft somebody. But I would go ahead and re-sign Justin Fields and give him a 2 year deal, and I would also sign Justin Fields too, and keep him around. That's what I would do. Now I know it's money, and Justin's gonna probably want his money, so that might not be something that they'll do because of that. But they should think about it. They should figure out a way to do it, and you never know. He might be open to it. He may be open to it. But as far as the matchup goes, for Saturday night, Pittsburgh is definitely going to have to stop the pass, man. We got to do a better job with the pass. Our defensive backfield has not been playing well, and I think if Saturday night, if we match up well against them, Joey Porter Jr. is back. I think that'll help. Earlier this week, they said that Dante Jackson was questionable, but he's probably going to play. He's having back spasm again, having some back issues. But they said he's that's all go for him, so that's a good thing. Deshaun Elliott's back. That's definitely big, and that's definitely helpful. So our defensive backfield, Minka, who's by the way made another Pro Bowl, and everybody's questioning that. He deserved it. I mean, he just, he's doing things that the Steelers want him to do, and he's not doing things that Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh, but that fans want to see. But he's playing his game. We don't know what they're doing. They don't know the scheme. So I'm thinking that's what they got him doing. He's just doing what he's told to do. So we got him back. Cam Sutton, man, I just don't know. There was all this talk they had some good rest, so that's a good thing. But, they've been off the last 10 days. But Cam Sutton, okay, so when he was here in Pittsburgh, he was decent. He was a decent player. I felt we should have kept him. We lose him. He signs with Detroit. Doesn't play well. Doesn't play really well in Detroit at all. Gets in trouble. The commissioner suspends him. And then he comes back here. And he hasn't been that good, man. He hasn't really been good. He's struggling. He's hurting us. Basically, he's hurting us. It's like he's not running the ball, like moving around like he normally used to. He's struggling in coverage. So I don't know. I think he's hurting us. I don't know. I was watching that one play over and over again where he gave up that touchdown, where he basically just blew that. He just blew it, and that's not the first time he's blown it. It's like he's losing his coverage, and he's turning around. He's looking at teammates. Teammates are looking at him like, Cam, what are you doing? They're wondering what he's doing. Like, it's like he's not in the meeting rooms. I don't know. I don't know if he don't want to be there, but he's struggling. Casey, he hasn't been playing a lot, but I thought he struggled all year too. So that's something we got to take care of in the draft. I think we need to handle that as far as defensive back. Holcomb is physical and he's a good linebacker, but he got hurt last year, and it was a horrific injury. They didn't even show it on TV. That's how bad it was. It was horrible, from what I'm hearing. It was a really bad injury, man, and surprised that he's even back playing. But he is. But they cleared him. It's late in the year, so I don't know how much he can help us, but he's cleared to play. So I don't know how much he'll help us. It's going to be tough for him. But he's back, and I don't think he'll get a helmet either. He won't get a hat. If he does, I'll be shocked, because I don't know how much he can help us. I really don't. Linebacker-wise, I think that our linebackers, T.J. Watt is not. He's beat up, so he's struggling physically. His hand, they said his finger, like he tore some ligaments in his finger. He's struggling. What they said, that's also hurting his pass rush ability. because he can't get the bull rush going because his hands he can't be physical enough with his hands, so he's struggling with that because his hand is messed up, but he's not letting on, he's not really talking about it, but they said that's an issue. Highsmith is doing pretty good. He seems to have beaten the injury bug. He doesn't seem to have any injury problems. Haywood seems to be cool. He seems to be good. Keno Benton, the defensive tackle, seems to be great, seems to be good. So, so far this past week, we haven't heard anything major with any of the players. On our side, they've been playing well. There's no major injuries, with the exception of T.J. Watt with the hand issue, and also his ankle too. Other than that, that's it. They're good to go. So hopefully, and now it's Friday, so they should be fine as far as injuries go, because it's late in the week and nobody's reporting anything, so they'll be good. We want it to stay that way too. We don't want no freak injuries taking place between now and after the game on Sunday. So as long as it stays like it is. So it seems like everybody's out. Let's talk about Patrick Queen though. Patrick Queen, and we paid him all that money. I have not been very impressed with Patrick Queen. He's playing decent, but he's not playing like a superstar. He's not playing like they said that he would play, like he should play. Missing tackles, running around blocks, and he's physical. He's fast. He gets to the ball, and he does make plays, but he's not making them. It's kind of making me wonder if that's why Baltimore got rid of him. So it makes me wonder. I don't know. Maybe it could be too that he's new to Pittsburgh, and he'll next year he'll have a better year. But he plays well, but I just expected more. I really did. The rookie, Peyton Wilson, he's been up and down this year. He's not real physical. He's a good linebacker, but he's not real physical, and I think he struggles too with that. But he's not a bad player. I think he just needs to get more physical. He's not physical enough for me. He need to bring it more, And then you got Herbig. Herbig, he hasn't played a couple games. He has played, but he hasn't. It doesn't seem like he's been on the field a lot. But there's no injury designation, so he should be fine because we're going to need him. We should be fine. And our backup corners and everybody should be good. So I'm thinking we should be fine, man, and everything will be good, and we should be able to get the win. Now, as far as scoring goes, Pittsburgh, man, we gotta handle our business. Since, again, I'm gonna reiterate this: Cincinnati can score; they can score points. So we got to be very aware of that. We can't have any communication issues in the defensive backfield, man, because they'll burn us. Those two receivers, and I should say three. Four: Garcecki, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Really good players, man. And Burrows, he's enough said. So that's something that we gotta lock down. We got to. We have to lock that down, or we're going to struggle. We're at home, so that's a good thing. That helps. We're at home, and normally when we're backs against the wall, we play better. We're physical at home, and hopefully that'll be the same case Saturday night, man. So, Pittsburgh Nation, Steeler Nation Midwest, make sure that you tune in. That's all we'll have today. Tune in on Saturday, man. Root for your Steelers. I'm gonna start doing some college preview stuff with different information about players that are coming out of college this year. That are some of the top players in the country, and also who will probably be some of the highest draft picks coming out this year, and who Pittsburgh may choose to take a hard look at and be on their draft board. So we'll start doing that too. We'll start doing that soon, and I think that'll be fun. We'll have guests on TV, not on TV. I'm sorry, but on the podcast. We'll have guests, and then we'll just chop it up with one another, man. We'll do matchups, and we'll talk about everything. Everything. As far as the best quarterbacks, the best running backs. What Pittsburgh needs, the needs that Pittsburgh needs, as far as line and corners and things of that nature. So we should have a lot of fun with that. It should be pretty interesting. So, Steeler Nation Midwest, thanks for joining me. See you next time. I'll see you Sunday evening for the quick, short wrap up after the game, and then we'll have the post game wrap up. It'll be a little longer. We'll have that. We'll do that on Tuesday after the press conference, Mike Tomlin press conference. So good evening, and like I said, watch the game, man. Root for the Steelers, and take it easy. Steeler Nation Midwest.